Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Forever Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Ferniel, joined by me as my co-host Christian Dyer, and we got Mr. Deon Johnson himself, Niner Gang Podcast, and our special guest in the house, as always, 49er Media, Anshul, and Niner Sickness, Mr. Beto. How we doing, fellas?
That new intro fired me up.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
thank Beto for that one because he hooked us up on that.
How's everybody doing, man?
Good, man. Good.
Tired.
How about y'all?
Tired.
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 I feel it.
I just got done doing an hour show, so I'm good.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Beto,
Okay.
Beto, but you're retired, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't have grandkids, bro. And
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair.
busy.
That's a whole nother job.
Yes. Yes. The good thing
All
is
right,
I can
guys.
give them back though.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
true.
Let's get right into it, fellas. All right, so we haven't been on in a while. I know we do the 49er Podcast Network show every Thursday, but we get back into our podcast, and let's just kind of catch up on what's going on in the off season and how you guys are feeling so far, and get your guys' thoughts on seeing Trey Lance's practice with Patrick Mahomes this past week, and what do you
The only
think that
thing I'm worried-
means?
Only thing I'm worried about is that hairline.
Y'all gotta leave that young man alone. Oh man.
Yeah.
Somebody did it greasy, bro, and did the George Jefferson thing. Y'all see it in the chat? It was fucked up. Oh,
Dude, it's more like I feel like it's more like
on that
Grady.
young boy.
It's more like Grady from Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
You must have got a new barber, huh?
Nah, man. He just, bro. I think his hairline is just receding as it is.
Like mine.
I feel good about our offseason moves so far, just for me. Signing Javon Hargrave was a good thing to be able to replace Javon Kinlaw, just due to the fact that Kinlaw has just not been, he hasn't lived up to his first round draft status, and we all know that he's done. He's pretty much playing out this year, and we didn't cut him because it doesn't make sense to. We won't pick up the fifth-year option, but it is what it is. What do you say? Sign of steroid use? He said, "I've been sign of steroid use." LOL. I'm 43, been receding for 20 years, and it ain't that bad. Damn, bro. Damn. But I mean, yes, steroids can make your hair fall out, make your balls small, make your dick small. It can do all kinds of shit. Steroids, bad people, don't take
Extra
them.
burritos does the same thing.
Burritos. Oh, damn.
But yeah, I feel good about the offseason moves. I think that everything is going well. I think they've done what they needed to do. The question right now is the right tackle position. I know that they said that Colt McKivitz is the guy, but the number one thing I will say is I want Trey to have his time on the field, allow him to go out there, have his ups and downs, and give him as fair of a shake as you gave Brock and you gave Jimmy.
Exactly.
So give him the same damn playbook. Let him go out there and run the plays. And we'll hopefully see Danny Gray become a part of this offense because he was obsolete last year because there was nobody who was going to be able to throw it to him. Him working out with Patrick Mahomes is a great thing. Iron sharpens iron, and you work with the best to be smart about it. And I think everything else will come into play. The last thing I'll say is please, for the life of me, do not shuffle the O-line like you did last year. Let them build solid continuity and stay with each other. I know that the O-line is pretty much solidified outside of right tackle, but please, for the life of me, do not do Trey Lance greasy and play musical chairs with the fucking O-line in training camp. And then when he doesn't look good, it gives people more crap to say. So those are just my thoughts on the offseason. What do you think, media? Let's kick it over to you.
You there, media?
I couldn't hear anything after Deon's talk?
That's why I said I'm kicking it over to you, man. Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear anything after you finished talking. My bad.
You good?
Yeah, probably my internet. Probably the freaking internet that I got from my partner. But anyways, with the off season, Hargrave definitely was a surprising move to me because I know a lot of Niner fans wanted, um, you know, a guy like Hargrave, but I just didn't expect it to happen. But it did happen, and so I'm really happy that it happened. I think that it's going to help out a guy like Eric Armstead because he had a guy like DeForest Buckner before, a few years ago before we traded him, and we saw what Eric Armstead did. Are you okay, Lefty? What's so funny, Lefty? Anyways, I think that I really like that the move of Javon Hargrave. I think the run defense is going to be better too with him. Um, and he had 11 sacks I think last year and 66 pressures. So if he's able to do that again this year, I mean that's gonna bode well for the Niners, especially in the playoffs. Because we saw this defensive line get tired. But Bosa couldn't just do it all by himself. I'm a little bit concerned with the depth on this defensive line, especially at the edge spot. Hopefully, they go out and draft another guy. Because right now they have Cleveland Farrell and then Austin Bryant as kind of the depth pieces, and obviously you have Drake Jackson, but I still think they need to go out there and draft an edge rusher in the later rounds. I think the secondary, I like those options too. Like, I think with Steve Wilkes that's going to bode well. He's a great special teams wizard, kind of just like Chris Kasurk's the wizard of the defensive line. So I'm pretty happy with how this offseason went in terms of the guys that the Niners did sign. I don't really see anybody that I'm not happy about. I mean, maybe the Ross Dwelly re-signing. I'm just not a big fan of Ross Dwelly. I'm not a fan of just continuing to keep bringing on the same, guys as a depth piece, especially at tight end. Like when we need another guy. So hopefully they're going to go out there and draft a guy. It looks like they've been looking at a lot of tight ends, and this class is supposed to be fairly deep. And in terms of the quarterback with, Trey Lance, I'm just happy to see that Trey Lance is working out with a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Because if you want to be the best, you got to, hang out with the best. Ask, Mahomes questions. That's just how Trey Lance is going to get better. It's great that he's going to have a little bit more pressure with, a guy like Sam Darnold, who was also third overall pick. So I'm just hoping Trey Lance, is able to show out and, end up getting the job because I'm a really big Trey Lance fan and supporter, and I really want him to succeed. But again, I'm happy that he's working out with Patrick Mahomes. I think that's a very good thing to see.
That's awesome, man. I do have a question for you. Why do you feel that Sam Darnold is going to be competition?
Yeah, I think that with Sam Darnold, like he also was a third overall pick, and he's gone through a lot of adversity, throughout this league where, he just hasn't had the greatest path, the Jets and, the Panthers. He had a few games where he looked better, but I think just being able to, they're both very young. I think Sam Darnold's really wanting to, try and vitalize his career. So I just feel like Sam Darnold's gonna really just try to do his best, and a guy like Brian Greasy, hopefully he can improve him too. So we'll see what ends up happening, but that's why I think that Deon.
Okay, I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? I do honestly think that the snaps are going to probably be like a 80-20 split in favor of Trey Lance. I really don't think they're going to give like a 50-50 chance to Sam Darnold because he knows nothing about the system. It's going to take a lot more time to digest and get down. Trey's going to help, but at the same time, I'm not even going to lie to you. If I'm Trey, I ain't helping no damn buddy. I kid you not. I'm not helping nobody. I'm out for me. I give you little small tips and pointers and shit, but I'm gonna have to be an asshole and be more like Tom Brady. I have no aspirations to allow you to come in and try to take my damn job. And then at the same time, people, we don't have to worry. Y'all know how I feel about USC quarterbacks. They're trash. They are. They just are. Everything else coming out of SC is good, and sometimes even great. But the quarterbacks, you don't like what I'm saying. Look at the facts.
Look at the butt
But,
folder guy. Where'd
yeah,
he come
but
from?
Beto, how you feeling about the offseason moves and what we've done so far?
I'm loving it for the fact that all throughout all through the season, I was always on my shows. I was like, man, if we only had, because I was disappointed because of the injuries to Kinlaw. So I'm like, I was always in these fantasies of what or how the Niners defense would look if we had Hargrave next to Bosa. And I always picture that. And when the Niners made it happen, it really encouraged me that they're trying to fix that wrong in 2019. And unfortunately, Mr. I can't do nothing on the field but just go after podcasters. We have to move on from him. And so, that's the only one he can threat, man. He's good at hitting hats off people's heads, but he can't tackle quarterbacks. They wear helmets, not caps. It's not baseball. So, but we're moving on from him. He's going to be a
What's up,
backup.
Bashar?
Maybe as a backup, he'll be okay. But I like the addition of freaking Hargrave to demand double teams with Bosa. That means Eric Armstead, wake the blank up. Your opportunities are going to be there once again. Dre Jackson, if he can come into his own, my goodness, this D line is going to look so freaking good that it's going to complement the secondary. And the secondaries are already good, but it's going to complement it. They don't have to defend for too long because that quarterback's going to be putting pressure on, and he's going to make those mistakes. And that's where Fred Warner, Greenlaw, and the rest of the company back there can take advantage of. And adding, I'm not too big on Sam Donald, but I do like the corner that we added. What's his name? Elijah. Is that his name? The guy from Atlanta. We're gonna play him at slot.
I don't know.
The name of the free agent we got from Atlanta. Can't think of his name. But anyway, he is a big body corner. They're gonna put him at slot. I can see him doing great things for us in the slot. Because I just can't think of his damn name. But
Oh, I know you're talking about. I'm looking him up right now.
yeah,
Something Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oliver.
I can't
Yeah. And
Can't
what's
think
up,
of
Luke
his
Luna?
name.
Welcome to the channel. But I want to see what he does in that slot and give the guys their competition.
Isaiah Oliver.
Isaiah.
There you go.
Isaiah
Beat me
Oliver.
to
Yeah.
it.
I like that pick. I really, really do. For that corner, big body corner there. So because I love Lenore, I think Lenore is going to definitely flourish from last year. He's going to get better on the outside, and you already have Mooney on the other, and then you have a big body like Isaiah Oliver in the middle. I love to see that defense flow. But those are the two additions that I like. The rest of them are okay too. Sam Donald, I don't know. So like I'm with you. I don't think quarterbacks come out of USC good quarterbacks. Name me one other than Palmer.
Exactly.
Was good. He's he's an outlier of the whole thing. But name me another one. You can't name me a good quarterback other than him
Yeah,
coming out of that school.
And you can't give us Mark Sanchez because he rolled the Jets defense to those AFC Championship games. We all saw that, but
He was
Absolutely.
Jimmy before Jimmy.
yeah.
He was Jimmy before Jimmy.
Hey, Beto, I have a question for you.
Hold on real quick. Ask Beto. Beto, when you're done, kick it over to Christian.
I'm done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just
I
wanted.
got you.
I got a question for you.
¿Qué
So,
pasó?
how do you feel about the offensive line guy that we got from the Bills? John Feliciano.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, John.
Well, to be honest with you, I love that we're going big on the O line. Finally, be able to utilize our freaking running backs and DDP and also Jordan Mason. They're downhill runners. They're not your Raheem Mosterts on the outside. You know what I mean? Even CMC is a downhill runner, and we don't have big guys that they can push that freaking defense and open up those lanes. So we're getting both of those guys that we picked up. The one you mentioned and the other guy, I can't think of his name. They're both 300 plus, 330-pound guys. So they're going to start then
Oh,
get away
Matt
from the outside
Proyer?
scheme. Yeah,
Matt Proyer?
I my four yeah. So I'm thinking they're going to get off on the outside screen and more downhill, puncher in the mouth type of thing. And so I'm excited to see that. I'm just glad that Mister get tossed out of the way. McClinchy's gone, and now he's going to be with the Broncos doing the same thing. So that's if what's the name thought he had a bad year, wait until he sees the McClinchy can't block for him. Good luck there, Russell. Run for your life, man. Don't run to your right. Always run to your left because that guy's will be on his ass. But yeah, I like him. I like a big body. I'm a big guy myself, so you got to put some meat. I'm tired of watching freaking McClinchy on skates going backwards. That's why I don't like freaking I can't even think of his name anymore. Mister, I can't be on the field. My knees are bad. Do you see the way he was
Kinlaw.
the way he was on skates in that NFC Championship game? See,
Oh, he got bullied, bro.
Yeah,
I watched
can't
him
have
get
that.
He was
bullied. I
getting
was
like
like,
shoved, bro.
that's
you
too
can't
big
be
of a. That's too.
lineman and get bullied like that.
That's too big of a human being. What's going on, Chris? I've been working so much, man. I ain't even had time to do a show, so I haven't had time to get. Chris, I promise you, when the hat comes out, you will be the first recipient, and your hat is on me. That is my
Ooh.
promise to you, brother. Your hat is on me. No, I will pay shipping, all that, man. You're good.
Huevos locos forever, eh?
Right?
But yeah,
So Christian, how do you
Yes,
feel
Christian.
about our off-season editions and any other thoughts you have? I mean, you're right next to your little milk dud right there, so you should be good. Media, come back. We're just playing with you, bro. Sorry, man.
What's up, Milk Dad? Don't go away. Pinchy Milk Dad.
Beto with the
All
soundboard.
right, guys, I have news. I'm not going to be showing my face ever again.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
Okay, look, we saw your post on Instagram, bro. That was about IG. That wasn't on YouTube. Click your
Yeah, exactly.
and stop fucking around over here.
Yeah, we know you're not doing IG no more, so get your old milk dud ass over here.
I am here.
It's a term of endearment. We think of you as the Brandon Ayuk of the crew, bro. That's a good.
Yeah, man.
That's not a negative thing.
Don't feel bad, bro. You're just a milk dud. I'm probably the whole box.
Want to go Niners?
It's all out of the.
Yeah?
It's all out
Okay,
of
say
love.
go Niners. Say go Niners.
Say milk dud.
No,
go Niners.
stop it. Stop it.
There you go. There you go. Brandon disappeared. Whoever that was in the background behind you, Brandon, they were like, "Don't have him say that." Mm-mm.
No, she doesn't like the Niners.
We need to get sponsored. We need to get sponsored by Hershey.
Look at that haircut.
She goes, nope.
We need to get sponsored by Hershey.
Is Hershey's the maker of milk duds?
Yeah.
They are. Oh, okay. There you go.
For real? All right, so
yeah.
So, anyways, milk dud.
To get this laugh out and let him do his thing.
Oh man,
Christian, come on, let's get your answer.
for me, I mean, I guess I liked the big free agent signing, which was interesting because we don't normally do that. So I'm kind of hoping that it pans out the way we're hoping it will, because normally we don't make that kind of a big splash. And he was apparently the number one ranked free agent in free agency. So I thought that was quite interesting. I wouldn't say I'm super excited about some of the other things. Like I haven't really looked into a lot of the players, but just because I feel like the offensive line's not really getting enough attention, I'm pretty worried about that. I know we can hopefully try to fix it in the draft, but I just feel like we're really still going to struggle on the right side, and that worries me a lot. So mostly from this offseason, I'm still kind of worried because I still am worried about whoever is behind center. If they have to worry about that right side, we're screwed.
I agree with you, man. I'm definitely, that right tackle spot is confusing. But what I will say is I do have a little bit of faith that Colton McKivitz is going to be all right. I think Colton's going to be able to do it because Colton has played every position on the line except for center.
Okay.
He played pretty much everywhere at West Virginia. He was mainly a left tackle, and I know they liked him better there. But the thing is, we got Trent. He's healthy. And to be honest with you, with them stating that they feel that Colton's the guy at right tackle, that's a question mark for Jalen Moore. Like, you never know where he's going to go or if he's going to be sticking around because he should have been the swing tackle at a bare minimum, to be able to do that. So
he just regressed.
We'll see what happens with that. But I do have to say that that right tackle is the only thing that's kind of worrying me. And then, we just need to make sure we find somebody to take Gibbs' spot whenever, after this year. Because I'm pretty sure after this year he's going to retire and just chill and not be worried about it.
This draft is full of DBs, though. So many.
And we got Steve Wilkes now, too.
Man,
so
I wish you could
DB
get
whisperer.
Oregon so badly, but he's going to be like a first-rounder.
Oh, yeah.
I think
That Gonzalez dude.
I know what you're talking about because I love defensive backs, and he is a badass. But I like ball hawks. You know me. I like guys that pick the ball off. So
that's my guy from Utah. He's a ball hawk.
Who?
Clark Phillips III.
Mm-hmm.
The CP3 of football.
How does this keep happening where Brandon keeps going full screen? I'm pretty sure it's
Beto keeps doing it. That's why.
Beto's notorious for doing that shit.
You son of a
bitch.
Oh, dude, freaking! But yeah, he's a ball hawk. He had like 4 interceptions in like 3 games.
Oh,
Christian, when you say ball hawk, go like this.
That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Bro, why did you don't have to do that, bro? He caught you slipping, man. Looked like
I did it. I know he did, but I did it anyway.
He looked like he's aggressive nuts, man. What are we doing right now?
Hey, Christian's used to that.
It's funny. I did it anyway.
There's a safety I really like, but from Arizona, but he's probably going to be undrafted. But dude, he is so versatile because he can play literally he's played cornerback. He's played both safety spots.
I think
also he's a Swiss Army knife. There's a high probability we'll pick him up because that's what we like. We like guys that are versatile and can play. You know what I'm saying? Who's he talking? Who's Luke talking about? Christian?
He's this year's version of Kittle. He can block, he can catch, he can run routes.
Yeah.
He's fucking nasty good, dude. He was the best. He was the best player on Utah's offense.
Okay, gotcha.
I really like that.
Insanely
good. I think what is it? Not South Dakota. I think state.
We got a number one Cowboys fan in the house.
Kincaid's gonna go.
I feel
early,
bad
though.
for you.
Deon Kincaid's he'll go before we even have a pick. He's gonna be one of the best tight. He might be the best tight end in the draft.
I just don't want us to draft another running back. Please
no,
stop.
I'm hoping we get a tight end.
I think I think we're drafting another tight end.
Yeah,
I like that guy from Alabama that we met with recently.
I just don't want another. I don't want another running back because we suck with drafted running backs.
Yeah.
We're better with UDFAs, and I know everybody will point out Elijah Mitchell, but here's the thing: his knees are Mr. Glass. So Elijah Mitchell, though when healthy, he's fantastic, and he averages well over 5 yards a carry. He ain't never on the goddamn field. So
I don't think many caught that reference, Deon.
You don't think who?
I don't think a lot of people caught that reference, but that was a good
Hey,
reference.
look, man, everybody know what that is, man. That's Mr. Glass. That's what was it, Invincible? Bruce Willis.
It's
Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson. So
Yeah.
I mean, he fragile like that, man. You know, his knees is about as bad as Jalen Hurts' back. You know, the only difference is Jalen Hurts' back. You know, Jalen Hurts' back literally kept him from playing at all. It kept him from getting on a fucking plane to go to the damn Super Bowl. That's how bad.
Yo, and I was looking forward to him so bad that year.
we all were.
Oh,
we all were.
people, hey man, people were all over it. Once I noticed that he wasn't gonna be on the field, I was like, forget about him.
Bro, and
Everybody
it's
was like, "Oh,
crazy
he's
because
gonna
we
be
could have
great
had
next year.
Scary
He's gonna be
Terry.
great next year." I was like, he ain't about to do nothing. And when
We
he
could
never
have
got
had
on
Scary
that field,
Terry and Debo, bro. Imagine.
Yeah, I think the draft's super deep in tight ends too, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
We'll probably get one in the third round. One of them will drop, and we're going to get a decent tight
I
end.
I agree with you, Luke, that we need speed at the running back position because Christian McCaffrey is not the fastest back. He's really easy to catch. You know, unless you really give him at least like a good 10-yard start on you, then he might get away from you. But most of the time, yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard because he's not the fastest dude. And yes, we all definitely missed the old Mosterati there and his get off because I'm telling you, that's one dude who he's one cut and go, man. And if he gets skinny, you can kiss him goodbye. You ain't catching shit. And I
Dude,
still
he's
don't
so fast.
understand. I still don't understand how he's not a 99 in Madden. I really.
Dude, he's the fastest guy in the league.
No, we can't have a show. Beto out here with it.
Beto needs to freaking chill.
Yeah, bro.
All right, so I'll ask a question and we'll round table. We'll start with Brandon and just going
All
over.
right.
So, question is, what is our strongest position on our team?
Our strongest position?
Mhm.
Like, could it be like a line at all? Like
It don't
defensive
matter.
line?
It's just your choice. Whatever you think.
Okay. I say our defensive line after getting Hargrave, I think became like 100 times stronger. And it gives help to Nick Bosa too.
Oh yeah, definitely so. What do you think, Christian?
It'd probably be between a linebacker and maybe receiver.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Like,
Now, my question for you on that is going to be, how can you say linebacker when it's just Fred and Dre? We don't know who that third guy is going to be, and I definitely ain't counting on Oren Burks to turn into shit.
Marcelino McCurry Ball.
I mean, didn't Fowles come back and he was pretty good when? I know that's Arnold's
Yeah,
guy.
but DFF is a special teams guy. He's
That's
not
fair.
a star.
I don't know. I mean, we have one of the best linebacking
I
tandems
think
in the
McCurry
league
Ball's
with those
gonna be
two.
good.
Like, I don't know who the third guy is going to be, but we even with losing Aziz, Greenlaw and Warner together are pretty damn good.
Okay.
So, just maybe because we don't have the third guy, I'll go ahead and pick the receivers.
Okay. What about you, Media?
This might be an interesting one, but I'm going running back.
Really? Okay. Do tell.
Just because I mean, CMC is literally, we saw what he did to this offense as soon as we traded for him. And yes, we mentioned Elijah Mitchell's not, has the health issues and stuff. But the thing is, when he is on the field, he's fairly good. Because I mean, even last year when he missed, right, and then came back, like, he didn't really miss a beat. So I think that, and then Jordan Mason showed some things. Obviously, we don't know what TDP is, but I still like the running back room.
All right. What you think, Beto? You're on mute.
He was talking shit on Brandon.
What's up, Sean? Welcome. I'm sorry, what was the question? I was talking shit.
I was saying, what do you think is the strongest position on our team?
Hey, pay
Oh.
attention, dude, and then maybe you would freaking realize what we're talking about here.
The strongest position in our team is putting Brandon in the front line with a big bowl of menudo.
Mijo,
Hey, with the fishing line where it hangs in front of
Yeah.
him, so we can't quite
with
get
a,
it.
with a Mexican sombrero.
How about you finish it off?
He keeps running, but he never gets any closer.
Ay, ay, ay. But our strongest
Hey.
positions definitely have to be the D line, with the addition of Hargrave. I mean, when you go from a number one defense and then you add a piece like Hargrave, that's. I mean, how can you get better than that? Our offense is pretty much the same. We lost McClinchy, but I don't think he's a huge loss. I think McKivitz will be able to handle himself a little bit, and stupid Christian. Um, God darn it, you got me. I should have never looked down. But I think the defensive line is the greatest position of strength. With now we have, instead of getting pushed around like Kinlaw, now we have someone that can push somebody else around in Hargrave. So hopefully, and then the offensive line, I think the offensive line will be fine. Um, I would love to answer that question after the draft to see what we do there. But right now, it's definitely defensive line or putting Brandon Sculo in front.
All right.
Hey, Beto, what's up with you, my culo?
I like
Whoa,
Pinocchio?
I like Italian Sculo.
Whoa!
Pinocchio?
Whoa!
Oh, you over there, man. This ain't the type of show. What are we doing?
Beto, can we make
Hey, that's all Bashar. That's all Beto.
Beto, can
Oh.
we make freaking shirts with Brandon with a sombrero and it says "Not So Speedy Gonzalez"?
Oh my God. Okay, moving on.
I
Rapid.
would wear that, dude.
Here's okay.
T-shirts of sombrero with the Gonzalez and milk duds.
So I'll say this: who is the X factor on our team? Like, who is that guy that is the heartbeat of the squad? And for me, I'm going to go with a very bold prediction and say it is Trey Lance. Trey Lance will be the X factor, and Trey Lance, mark my words, will sit Brock Purdy back on the bench. But, Beto, what do you think, sir?
Oh man, I love that pipe dream. I really do. If Trey Lance can come out and do his thing, I would love to see it. I love Trey Lance. I got nothing against the kid. I just seen too much in Brock Purdy to kind of go backwards. If he's healthy, Brock Purdy is definitely the guy that can lead this team to a Super Bowl. I don't think he's limited. I think they can do it just fine with him. But if Trey can come in, this is Trey's perfect opportunity to shut everybody up, myself included. Shut everyone up. Come in, do your job. The videos with Patrick Mahomes looks great. Be able to hit those intermediate receivers and get the ball to them. And if you are able to be accurate, I love to, because I know there's more of an upside with Trey Lance. Anybody that knows football knows that. But let's get real. Will he get the fair opportunity to showcase what he can do? And I just want to appreciate Luke Luna for the $5 super chat. Thank you,
Luke,
sir.
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I will make sure I buy another can of menudo for Brandon. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Beto, you better. I'm gonna buy a zipper to shut your mouth.
Shut my mouth. Andale.
Pasquale.
If you're menudo, I'm pozole, bro. Come on.
No.
Deon, do you know what pozole is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's married to a Mexican, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oh my God! If I didn't like you then I like you more now.
No,
No, I did. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Since
I'm married to
Deon's
Filipina.
hiding
I'm
his
married to a
camera because
Filipina.
Beto's gonna make fun of him.
look, bro. I was eating. Okay. I
Hey,
don't
he's
That's
eating
what
in
I'm
and out.
saying, because you're eating.
Hey, Deon's eating in and out. You can't make fun of him.
But I can't tell when Dina's eating. You just snoring your food through your nose and shit.
And you eat your food through your asshole.
Yeah, hell yeah. I just put the ball on my ass. Yep, it's go. Yep, and then I burp. Mi culo
This is
grande.
the show. This is the show, ladies and gents. This is shit that happens.
freaking done.
I even leave a tip from my ass, bro.
All right, we got to get right on board. X Factor.
Yes. Go ahead. No, go
Okay,
ahead,
media, go ahead.
All right.
Let us know.
Come on.
I'm sticking with Trey. I'm not
All right.
changing that.
Yeah,
I'm telling y'all right
Come
now.
on, let your
he's
come on,
shitting
let
on
your
the
pet.
league.
I wanted to go with Trey Lance, but I'm going to go with somebody different just because I want to make it different. But I'm going with George Kittle.
Let's go.
Let me tell
Wow.
you why. Because a tight end is a young quarterback's best motherfucking friend. And they got to build that rapport. We haven't seen that yet, really. So I need to see George Kittle build that rapport with Trey Lance, and he's going to be a big threat for Trey Lance and a big, just like Purdy, he was a good, Purdy was Kittle's blanket. I think he's going to be the same for Trey Lance. So I'm going with George Kittle.
Okay, Christian, on you, man. And it doesn't matter who it is. Just remember, be honest with the guy that you want. And let us know why that dude is that man that's going to make this happen.
I gotta go Ayuk.
Okay.
He finally hit 1,000 yards.
I knew he was going to say Ayuk, though.
He's getting pissed that he's not getting the love he deserves as a top receiver, and he's completely getting overlooked. And I just feel like this is the year he really, really, really breaks out, because he got 1,000 yards, but it doesn't even say for much about his game because he's always wide the fuck open. That's why he's the perfect receiver for Kyle's offense, because he runs his route so cleanly and he's always open, and we're exactly where Kyle says he's going to be. That's where he's at. So, I think he's going to have a big season. I don't think we're going to let him walk. I don't think Kyle will let a receiver like him leave because he's perfect for his offense.
Oh yeah, we're picking up that fifth year. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, so I want to see him have a big season. I think if he can have like a legitimate number one receiver type season, this offense is going to be hard to stop.
All right, I got another question for you, really quick.
Okay.
Season numbers, yardage and TDs. What are we looking at?
So here's what I'd like to see if he was treated as a true number one. 12 touchdowns, 1,500 yards.
Ooh, okay.
And I think he's
capable. That's the true number one. That's true.
I think he's capable of it. He just doesn't get treated like a true number one. Okay. Because I think if he is able to do that, it's going to open up the touches that Debo gets. When he does get them, they're going to be deadly.
Okay.
That's all. I just feel like the offense needs to run, like the passing offense needs to run through Ayuk and then fade off from there with the other guys. I just don't know if it's going to, but that's what I want to see happen. I want to see him be treated like a true number one and put up those number one numbers and progress like we've seen Justin Jefferson do. But
Kristen, you on me tonight, man. He dropping the serious facts. Brandon, I'm gonna need you to stop looking at Beto like you're gonna kill him, or either your screen is froze.
Is he looking like he's gonna kill him, or is he looking at
he was definitely froze because it looked like he was angry.
I thought Brandon went to prison as a tight end and leaves there as a receiver.
Damn, Brandon, bro, you have to come back. There's no choice, bro.
Beto, I was about to say he's staring at you like a juicy ear, juicy.
Did you hear
that I was a bowl of menudo?
No, this guy's talking Pinocchio or what?
No, man. Okay, Beto, repeat yourself.
Brandon, I say when you went to prison, you went in as a tight end and you left as a receiver.
Beto, you're the one that was in prison, right? So I think you're talking about yourself,
I'm the one
my
that
boy.
turned you into a receiver.
Oh Lord, this is shit.
What? That's what you think I talk about your ass all the time.
Yeah, Brandon, freaking Beto Pinocchio you or what?
This is how you know Beto's a Pinocchio.
Okay.
Hey, we better not tell Brandon's grandpa. He's gonna.
Who is your X factor of the team, man? Who's your guy that's gonna make a difference and why?
So I'm gonna say Christian McCaffrey. So especially with Trey Lance under center now. CMC, that run game is just gonna be crazy. CMC is gonna go off. You can either pass with CMC, or you could run or do a little wildcat is, but this offense can be looking crazy with Trey Lance under center now.
I like the CMC pick, but I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the thought of Lance running all the time. He, to me, is not.
No.
I don't care what you
Yeah,
say. He's not
I
a dual threat
agree.
quarterback. He is a quarterback with a strong arm who wants to throw the ball, who can escape the rush and getting yards.
Exactly.
Off
That's
a
what I
broken
want.
play. I don't want this. He's not a dual threat quarterback. He doesn't have the speed to be a dual threat quarterback. He has the smarts and enough athleticism to get to make positive plays when there's nothing there. But I do not want to see him used as a dual threat quarterback because to me that's not what he is. But I don't know. I'm fine seeing him run the ball every now and then, but like a full dual threat.
Well, like all the time, like we did this past season, I'm good off of that.
Yeah, I'd rather just see him stand in the pocket, and
I want to see him like he was in the Texans game, because the Texans game was exactly what we wanted to see, which was, I remember, right near the like 1 or 2 yard line, right all the way on the other side. He has pressure. He rolls out, and then I think it was Brandon Ayuk. I think he finds. Like that's what I want to see with Trey Lance when it comes to running. Like I agree with you, Christian. I don't need to see him used as a running back. He should be a guy that, like, his legs should be used as if, okay, he has that capability, and he only uses it if he has to.
He has a cannon for an arm. You use him like Ben Roethlisberger. That's the comparison. He's big and hefty, and he's going to be hard to tackle when he starts to understand his balance and feet in the NFL, if he gets to that chance. And he's got a cannon, so he could be running on his and freaking throw a dime off his back foot 40 yards down the field. That's what you want. You want.
Yeah, and that plus Trey Lance playing will make Danny Gray relevant, because it was irrelevant last year, and we'd love to see what he's got.
He was the real Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Dude, he needs to be the quarterback that when you freaking try to tackle him, you miss, you make a mistake, and he makes you pay deep down the field. Hence Ben Roethlisberger.
I agree. Yeah, you want to give, and that's why I stated you want to give Trey the same exact playbook you gave Jimmy and you gave Brock. Because it don't make no damn sense how we wanted to run when Trey Lance was in. But the minute Jimmy and Brock step on the field, here we go throwing the ball like nobody's business.
He's not Jalen Hurts, and we need to stop treating him like he is.
And I guess
he doesn't have that kind of. He doesn't. First, the number one thing that Trey Lance could focus on in the offseason, as far as him developing as an actual runner, is learning how to slide. You could learn that, and then after you learn how to slide, what you want to do, honestly, is watch film of Russ, watch film of
actually, when it comes to
I was gonna say watch film of Russell Wilson in his early days and Jalen Hurts now.
Well, if you want to watch,
Jalen is one of the smartest running quarterbacks in the league. He does not take hits. It's
Actually, the one quarterback who it was actually my favorite part of his game, who never took hits, who got out of bounds, was actually Kaepernick.
He used to get out of bounds.
Never took hits.
You could study with those people. You could study those people and learn what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And then all you got to do is just give it a couple baseball players. They'll teach you how to slide in a couple minutes. That ain't that, it's not that bad. I'm not saying I know how to do it, but I'm too fucking old for that shit. So I ain't about to be out there trying to slide nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I honestly think that the addition of Steve Wilkes is going to help us with a great boost to our DB room. This is a good question, and I'm going to start with Beto, and I'm going to say it in a way that he's going to understand it. Will we see Ambry Thomas pull his head out of his ass and get back to being on the field?
But we've talked about this.
I'm asking Beto because I want to know. I don't know. I feel like he's lost cause at this point.
It depends on the offense.
Man. I don't know. I would hope that he would, for the sake of our depth in our secondary, but I just love Lenore too much. I love him coming out of college. Me and a friend of mine, we argued who was going to be better out of the two, and he says Emory Thomas. I go, don't let the spot where you get picked dictate how good a player can be. I think Lenore has more upside. Ambry Thomas looked like he started to play well, but man, he just gave up too many plays for my liking, and then he just kind of fell off um, to the wayside. So I would hope he can get it and come out and show the rest of us why he was chosen by the Niners, but I doubt it. I think the Niners are going to draft some more corners in this year's draft, and I wouldn't be shocked if Emory Thomas don't even make the team in 2023.
There you go.
What hurt Ambry Thomas from the get go was when we only started playing zone. He's not.
Yeah.
He's a man. Yeah.
He's a man coverage. When we played man coverage, he was fantastic. When we played the Cowboys in man coverage in that playoff game in Dallas, he fucking shut down whoever he was covering. He shut down Cooper when he was covering Cooper. He shut down what's the other guy? Whenever he was covering him, CD Lamb, he shut them both down. Anytime he was on them one-on-one in that game, and made it hard for Dak to get them the ball. And then ever since then, the next season, when going into the next season, we ran only zone coverage, and he looked terrible. But he went from looking like one of the better players on the Niners defense in that playoff game, then to nothing the next year because we went fully to zone coverage. But when we were playing man against Dallas's receivers, he looked great.
Yeah, and you got to pick that zone up because that's the reason why they went with Steve Wilkes as the defensive coordinator because he was going to keep things the same. I think they really love that 4-3 scheme, and that's why they haven't gotten anything different as it pertains to switching the scheme up. I really would have loved Vic Fangio to come in and switch us back to a 3-4 because that's what I like. I love a 3-4 defense. I loved when we had it when Harbaugh was here. And Fangio obviously was here, and we were just wreaking havoc on opposing offenses. We could have Aldon Smith be in the dirt or standing up. Like, there's just so many advantages to a 3-4. Plus, is way better for any type of coverage purposes. But I digress. Steve Wilkes is definitely a DB whisperer, but I honestly feel like if he can't get through to Ambry Thomas, no one can.
Does he run a 4-3 zone or what is he? I don't know what. Yeah, see, that's
4-3 zone. I think he's like a heavy cover 2, cover 3 kind of guy.
Yeah.
See, and I'm not a huge
coverage
fan of
cover
it.
3.
The only way that works is if you have an absolute dominant defensive line. Like that. That's why I don't like it because unless you have like an absolute dominant defensive line, you can't. It's not going to work. That's why it's called the Tampa 2 because the team that invented it, their defensive line was so fucking nasty. Their front seven was so fucking good they could do that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, be prepared because I do believe that if you look at our line, say this is our starting line, and this is what I believe it should be. It's going to be Drake Jackson, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, and Nick Bosa. Bosa and Jackson on the edges are way too fast. And that gut is gonna be, hard to get up that gut just because of Hargrave and Armstead. And those two dudes will clog that middle. So once that happens, you're going to see just a collapse on an offensive line unless you just got dudes that are great. And to be honest with you, hopefully the addition of Hargrave will allow Kinlaw to at least become that serviceable dude that gets us about 5 to 6 sacks and a couple pressures. And then, he can go elsewhere and get paid because I have no reason for him to stick with us. He's just never lived up to the first run.
If you add to that front seven, you add Fred Warner and Greenlaw backing up that front line. I'm going to tell you right now, this front seven is going to be freaking good. If we can get Jackson to be able to transition from that freshman to sophomore year and become, he had 3 sacks. He didn't look bad last year, in my opinion. If you look at the film, he did struggle a little bit getting off his stance, but that's something he can learn. And he just got to build up his strength. Now, last year he was going through what, going into all these scouts and working out before he got drafted and then draft. This time he has a whole offseason to get better. Armstead, if there's any indication that when we have DeForest Buckner in 2019 next to Bosa, and Bosa was what, a rookie with only 9 sacks that year. Armstead had 10 sacks and 66 pressures. Now the 10 sacks is something to look at, but the 66 pressure is what I like more from both. I mean, from Armstead. So I'm telling you, by adding Hargrave to this line, Armstead is going to be able to eat more. He's already destructive pushing that line. It's all about him getting to the quarterback. So where's the quarterback going to go? If he goes in, he meets Hargrave or Armstead. If he goes to the outside, you have Bosa and Jackson. And if you happen to penetrate, you have Fred. You have Fred Warner there. So I think they're going to be able to run it, Christian, because I think this front seven is going to be good enough to be able to run that Tampa 2 type of defense.
I hope so, because if our defensive line is really good, then our defense is going to be tough to score on. I think with Jackson, with his speed though too, is I think especially with Hargraves in there pushing the middle, taking up as much as he's probably going to take. Hopefully we can see some more stunts with Jackson, because if you didn't notice, every time we stunted, dude, he had a straight rush to the quarterback every single time whenever we actually did it, and he was in the quarterback's face instantly.
Yeah. So I saw this question really quick. It says, what do you guys think of the undrafted rookie coming off an ACL injury? I don't want anybody who has a previous injury history ever again. I'm tired of any and everybody that has been injured. If you coming off an ACL, go away.
I'm thinking if he's talking about the guy tearing
his ACL. Is he talking about Kalia Davis?
Yeah, he was not undrafted.
Oh, yeah, okay. If you're talking about Kalia Davis, man, he's a question mark to me. I agree with you. Done anything. We knew we were going to redshirt him, and we'll just have to see what happens. But that's
I agree with you. If he hasn't played, you can't. You have to wait and see what he can do.
Yeah. But about Ambry Thomas, like I personally think that, I don't know if Steve Wilkes is. Hopefully we're wrong, and hopefully Steve Wilkes is able to fix him up. But I think the Niners are going to draft somebody else late, and try to see if they can get him, if he can beat out Ambry Thomas, and then Ambry Thomas will still make the team. So I think they're gonna bring competition in for Ambry Thomas.
Yeah, I think the defensive line is the most exciting thing to be looking forward to this season. I think just to see, because I do think we'll see an improvement in Drake Jackson, just because our D-line coach is so damn good, and Drake Jackson's so talented, but he's just so raw. And if we can fine tune his talents, he's gonna be tough to stop. He's gonna be, if they can teach him that spin move with that speed, that Dwight Freeney spin move with that speed he's gonna have off the line.
That would just be unfair to offensive line.
I'm telling you, dude. If he can use that speed and learn that spin move, dude, that Dwight Freeney freaking.
Bruh, if you the funny thing, that's my comp for Drake Jackson.
Dwight Freeney
is Dwight Freeney because of the size. The only difference is I think he's taller than Freeney, because Freeney's
got longer arms too,
and he's got longer arms. I think Freeney.
I love watching Drake.
But Freeney wasn't the back down dude, but he was so nasty off that edge, dude, that you couldn't stop him, and he would get under.
Oh, dude, he was so much fun.
They would be over there, because I think one guy was saying when they interviewed him, they asked him, it was like, who was one of the toughest guys to defend, and he said Freeney, because of the way he was able to bend and torque his body. It was hard to get him down or hard to stop him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
he was so good, dude. Him and Robert Mathis in their prime.
I have a question for you guys. How do you guys like the signing of Cleveland Farrell?
Farrell, to me, I think he's just going to be another serviceable type dude. I think I look at Farrell like I look at Samson Ebicom, probably about 5 to 6 sacks. He's a rotational piece. He's not going to be a starter.
Yeah.
Outside of, God forbid, an injury, which we don't need because we always wind up the most injured team in the damn league every year. But, I mean, he's a rotational piece, and I think that, as usual, Chris Kasarik is going to find a way to pull something out of him. At least that's my thoughts.
For the three guys that we lost last year, we lost Samson, we lost Amini Hugh,
Jordan Willis.
and then we lost Jordan Willis. Even Hyder, right? Between them, they had 9 sacks.
Honestly, their best production was with us, though. Like the most production.
But we bring Hargrave that just had 11 on his own. Compared, so you're bringing in one guy and you're matching up 3 guys that left. So if you bring in Collins, I think he'll be enough, like you said, a rotational DN to give Jackson a little bit of a breather. I got a feeling the Niners will take a edge in that third round pick, one of those third round picks to add to the roster. And I love this deal. I'm a defensive guy. Offense is nice, it's fun, but defense wins championships in my opinion. And I love what this defense looks like. If they now, to Diaz's point, can they stay healthy all freaking year? Because I don't care how good you look or you are. If you're injured, it just messes up the whole chemistry. Can these guys gel together and stay healthy? That's the $1 million question. If they can, whoever's at quarterback will get far. They just got to stay healthy, man.
We're going to be one of the top ranked teams, like in the pre list. They're going to be all over.
Yeah, they're going to put us. We're in the top 10 at a minimum in power rankings.
Yeah, we're going to be one of the teams everybody loves, regardless if we have a quarterback.
What's up, Barry?
I'm going to assume, but I would like to think we'd be pretty good if Lance just comes out slinging, but it's hard to think that with as little football as he's played, it's going to be as easy as that. But
I'm calling it already, man. I'm telling you, I feel like Lance. I feel like just the offseason alone is going to make people understand that Trey Lance is the guy, and it's going to give, as long as Kyle gives him the same offensive playbook that he gave to Brock and he gave to Jimmy. I honestly think Trey Lance would flourish tremendously in an offense like that. And I think it was either Beto or Media who made the point earlier. Make his running a secondary option. The guy wants to be a pocket quarterback. He doesn't want to run. Does he have the speed if you're going to run him on like a QB power in short field situations? Yes, he can do that. But if you're asking him to pull off a Lamar Jackson type of run, ain't gonna happen. He ain't that fast.
No.
And I like him, but I don't want him barreling into defenders because it's the big leagues. This ain't college. You can just bowl over everybody.
Exactly.
You dip that shoulder on the wrong linebacker, and he gonna lay your ass out. He gonna lay the wood on you. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
I really want to get a chance to actually look and see how well Lance's processing is, because that's why Purdy's so good, and that's why Purdy did so well. He's they said he scored in that draft last year. He scored highest processing of every single quarterback. That's insane.
Crazy.
Wow. That's insane.
And for him to the problem we have is a good problem to have to an extent, because you have 2 quarterbacks that you fully believe in, and you can invest in either one, and it'll turn around and pay dividends. Now, Davis saying the truth. He said Jackson played only 15% of the defensive snaps in 2022, 3 sacks and 8 batted passes, also an interception. So I think Kyle came out and said himself that he believes that, I guess, Jackson's conditioning wasn't up to par for him to be an every down defensive end. Here's the thing. You never gave him any time on the damn field to see if that was actually true or not. If Dave is telling us he played 15% of the snaps, how the fuck are you ever going to be a full-time defensive end if you give me 15% of the damn snaps? I'm not going to build up any stamina over time because I'm standing on the fucking sidelines.
I'll
have fresh legs when I go in, but I don't know how long that's going to last, because you have to remember, like, I think George Kittle he's been doing a ton of podcasts. Jesus Christ. One of the things they asked him was, hey, how do you feel like after a game? He's like, it feels like you've been in a car wreck. And it takes literally almost to like fucking Wednesday of next week to feel normal again.
Mhm.
So that tells you what these players put their bodies through.
Yep.
So for me, honestly, I think if you just stop playing around, let that young man get on the field, run him every single down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And let him
exactly.
do his thing. And then he will actually develop into the player that you're thinking he can be. But if you continue to hold him back by not giving him a lot of snaps and then keep telling you, oh, it's his conditioning, then to me that's just crock of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we missed him a lot in the playoffs because he's the only one all season that batted down passes, and I was like,
Oh my
dude,
god, yeah.
Mhm.
just
When
having
he
him-
did that was awesome.
having him in third down is so important just because he can bat a pass down.
Yep.
This is why I'm glad they got rid of Samson or let him walk.
Yeah.
I think
He's
Samson was taking too much of those
Smart, but getting
reps.
his hands
Yeah.
up. I mean, it's
Yeah,
the simplest thing.
he's just raw, and I think it's just natural instinct that he has, and I think he just has a lot of raw talent. But again, because he went to USC, where right now they were when he was coming out of USC, they were a fucking shit show and not developing
'cause
their
they were
talent
not
correctly.
using him right.
Because, dude, when he came out of high school, apparently he was like one of the best players of all of the whole freaking people coming out of high school. He was like top 5 ranked player out of high school. So he's obviously got that raw natural talent. It just has to be refined. But I
Chris
mean,
Sarek would be perfect to do that.
yeah,
I feel
Exactly.
like they're also. I feel like they're because when we drafted Dick Jackson, like, and you know how they show them like the video of like you drafting the guys like and they show the highlights. Like to me, I feel like they're trying to make him basically the new D Ford because I feel like
Bye, Deon.
when I saw those videos, like I saw stuff that kind of made me feel like he could become a D Ford. So I think that's what the Niners are hoping to.
well, having that natural instinct even as a rookie to put your hands up and knock balls
Yeah.
down, playing
Yeah.
15% of the snaps and still having 8 batted down passes. Like if you do that, that's what 24 batted down passes by the end of the season. That's fucking insane. That's averaging more than 1 a game.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna end it here. For those of you that tuned in, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll be back again for the NFL draft coming up at the end of the month. And also check us out every Thursday as well. At 7 o'clock p.m., me and Beto will be hosting 49ers Podcast Network. And
Talking about culos.
Yeah, and
Hey, guys.
also don't forget to mention that for draft day on Thursday, we have it open. We're going to be live here for draft day. So if you're not doing nothing for the draft, and if you're watching the draft on Thursday, and
Uh-huh.
you guys want to come and be part of the group and just talk about all the teams taking players, where players are going, it starts at 4:30 here on the 49er Podcast Network. So come and check us out. It'll be the 27th, I believe.
Yeah, 27.
The 27th at 4:30, and we'll be live through the whole draft. So come and hang out with us, even if you step in and out. But come and join us, and it's open for the panel for anybody that wants to join us as well.
Yep. And until next time, guys, go Niners. Peace.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
Let's go, menudo.